And here, no, it was, of course, here. It was the first one. So this was the design.
Yeah.
This was the design I did. And Torlak did it quite similar. He wrote it in the channel.
Yeah. Will you be able to also to share product, or there is no way?
To share what?
I mean, to share also what he have done as well.
Torlak?
Yeah, yeah.
Just a second. I think I found it. Where I found it. I found it somewhere in the channel. I think I have to close this. Otherwise, we can see it, I think. And his was here. This was his work. It's rather the same. So
Yeah, yeah. I
I
mean, he like attributes entities. Of,
I've split the gender and the name in my solution. And this is right now on this PC. I do not have MariaDB installed, but this one, this is the export from MariaDB. As you can see it.
yeah, yeah. I can see it now.
So I've chosen those the fields, the properties of the fields.
Yeah.
Tiny text, decimal, date. Yeah, and I had for gender and surname, I have two attributes.
Yeah, yeah. Did you create that? Was just you could also create that online, by the way. Like you can try this on online, MSQL, Microsoft SQL Server, or MySQL, or
I,
MariaDB, or
yeah,
or Oracle database. I mean, whatever.
yes,
Um,
okay, yes, I did it in MariaDB and I used Heidi SQL.
Okay. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Thanks a lot. Thanks. Great. Robert, did you manage also to work on that? Robert, can you hear us?
I stop presentation. Huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you? Okay. Do you? Uh, um, okay. Okay. No problem. No problem. Okay. So I will start uh our lecture. I hope you just a second. I will share my screen as well. Now, can you see now the presentation?
No. Oh, now it's here. Yeah. Okay.
It's a green. It's a
Yes,
green one.
the green one. Yes, yes, that's great. Yes.
Okay. So this is today we will start with our study goals. We today it's getting more like more interesting because we are talking now about like SQL. Last time we talked a little bit about SQL and why we need SQL. You can say SQL, SQL, whatever. We know what is about. So now we need to talk about use this SQL select statement to select from tables to query data in an relational database management system. How to filter Like if you have a lot of records, how to filter and bring only what you need. So this is very important because this is what really needed when you do research. Like when you do search for a product or something, you really need like one product or a specific product. If you search and you get like many or all records, it doesn't make sense. So therefore, we need something called filter to filter query results using the where clause. So we will also today go through the where and how we use it. Group query result using the group by and having clauses, explain and use subqueries. So what is the difference between data and information? Anybody knows what is the difference between data and information? Data is the raw data is the raw information, like before we process it. Like you might have a lot of records, but it doesn't give you any information. So how to transfer data into information? We
Yeah.
do processing to data to make it something useful, something we can understand. This is like in general. In computer science, it's the same concept. Like you have data, like you have maybe like 1,000 records about patient, but this information without giving like specific information, and after processing them, it doesn't make any sense. So for that, we need like some expert or a doctor for this example, who understand this data and can transform that to information. So
Context.
if you have records and you need to get information about this, like information could be something like you have like many records about temperature in Germany, in Munich, and you need now to tell us like the next week will be hot, cold, and or how's it. So how exactly you do processing, so data and the context gives you information, so it makes like to make more sense for the end user. Why would you use queries instead of checking the entire context of tables? This is also a good one. Like why do we need to use queries to query the database? Why? This anyone anyone knows why do we need to do this or to query instead of just checking the tables as they are? Brand, you can talk. You can talk.
Ah, okay.
I mean,
The-
anyone has like mic can talk, but I mean, unfortunately, some don't can't talk. But I mean, go ahead.
it's faster to use a query than to look up every tables and every records. And with a query, you can use filtering, so you get only the results you want to have.
Exactly. That's it. Like if you just imagine, I'm telling you, like, please bring me like the or show me like the highest salaries in the company, like the 10 highest salaries in the company. Does it make sense to look at all salaries one by one with your eyes and just to tell us, okay, I found this and this, and go through, like if you have 10 employees, 10,000 employees, sorry, 10K. So in this case, you wanted to go through 10,000 records and to find out the like top highest salaries, top 10 highest salaries. Does it make sense? So as you mentioned, like this makes the process faster makes like you makes the purpose or the task you want to achieve easier. You know what you want to achieve. You want like specific data, and you can get this data. You can grab this data with SQL query. But if you need to go through the like entire contents of tables, and you have many tables, how to go through all of this and make connection between the tables and the relationship between the tables to understand exactly what you need. So it's really hard. That's why we need something like queries to faster the process. What is the general form of an SQL select statement? This is what we need to to go through today. This
Extracting
this
data from
video from last time, we said we will go through this this time. It's about extracting data from several tables. I hope you
extracting
can hear the
data from
voice.
several
Hmm.
tables
Yeah.
using
Yeah.
relationships. When we need specific information or a piece of data, we say that we query one or more tables in the database. Queries can be used to restrict data in one or more tables depending on the predefined criteria. They can be used to select rows that meet one or more criteria. For example, here you can see that we are selecting the rows that have Tokyo as the branch main office location. Queries can also restrict columns. For example, we might want to get an output restricted only to the name and phone numbers of all branch managers. In a relational database, data often is scattered over several tables. Still, there are relationships among the tables that are realized by inserting one or more fields from one table into another. We can use these fields to find data that is distributed over several tables. For example, if we want in this database to find the phone number of the branch manager that manages France, we can see that France is managed by London's office because this city is used to create the relationship between the two tables. We can find the phone number we have for the row with London as the branch value. The same reasoning applies to all kinds of relationships. For example, in this many-to-many relationship, if we want to know who are the local representatives in Dresden, we need to look for Dresden in the cities table, use it to get the primary key in this table, search for this value in the relationship table, and find the matching values, then search these values in the local representatives table that contains the name, and we get the two matching names.
So for getting or selecting data, it's very important to know the relationships. Usually, it's very important to work on the architecture of your database before you start the project. Like if a customer came to you and telling, okay, I need this project. If you start the project right away and start building some tables and start, okay, when I remember another table, I will add it. In the future, when you scale your business or when you add like more information, it will be more complicated for you. So the best way or the best practice to just draw everything on a piece of paper, and from this connection between tables, okay, you will say, okay, I have this entity, like branch, I have city, I have employees, I have customers, and then you try to analyze, to make analysis. Analysis is very important, and it requires a lot of experience. Then if you do the analysis in right way, the whole work after that will be organized and easier for the whole employees, for your colleagues as well. So when you work on in a project in database, it seems for you it's easy because the SQL statement is like easy. You can find it in internet everywhere. It's not something secret. You can find it in internet. But the good thing when you plan your project and make the connections between tables clear, and in that case, it will make the connection. Sorry again, what you said? I don't somehow I don't see. Okay, somehow I don't see chat. I will check later. Okay, so the main idea to draw everything and make these connections first of all clear and reasonable, and you need before building your tables to make this something we will go also through in our course later, something called normalization. How to make a normalization helps you to make the optimal structure of your database without redundant values, so it make it in optimal way. So here in this example, this is table example in hide SQL. Like you have a customer ID column, customer first name, last name, address, customer city, customer country, phone number, balance, and so on. So from this information, if you wanted to select like the one who the customer who is living in customers who living in France. So in this case, you need to write SQL statement which brings like Linda and Amina, both of them, because they are living in France. So there are many cases. There are many cases. You just need to understand what is this SQL statement you need, and how to write it. And this could be useful like to organize, to filter, to select specific customers, to make reports. Like after that, this is like higher level. After you understand the database very well, there is another level or higher level to work with reports called Microsoft Power BI or BI tools, business intelligence tools. IBM also has one tool. There is one from Tableau. Also, this for analyzing and generating reports from the tables you have, and also you can provide your customers with this kind of reports. Now we will also continue.
SQL and
We will continue again with the sub languages from last time. Last time we talked about we have SQL and we have subcategories of SQL.
SQL and its sublanguages. SQL stands for Structured Query Language, and it is used for processing data in databases. Its statements are divided into sublanguages. These sublanguages are DML, Data Manipulation Language, DDL, Data Definition Language, TCL, Transaction Control Language, and DCL, Data Control Language. DML, which is the Data Manipulation Language. This sublanguage is used to change the data in the database. Sometimes the select statement, which is used to query the database, is added to this sublanguage. Other operations that we can use this sublanguage for are inserting had to the database, updating the data, and deleting data. DDL, or the Data Definition Language, is used to create and modify the database objects. For example, we can create a table using create table, and we can change the schema or structure of a table using alter table, and we can remove a table from the database using drop table. There are other objects that we can use DDL statements with, such as views. The next sub-language is the TCL, Transaction Control Language. Transactions are defined as a number of operations that have to be done in the database and must never be broken. Suppose we start the operations of a transaction. In that case, we either must finish all the operations and commit the change. If for some reason or an error, one of the operations could not be completed, then we need to roll back all the operations that preceded it so that the database return to a coherent state. Finally, the DCL, or Data Control Language, is used to control access to the database. For example, it can be used to grant or revoke specific permissions to certain users or groups. Welcome to Unit 2, Extracting Data from One Table Using SQL. SQL allows for extracting particular data from tables in a database. The SQL select statement is used to select particular rows and or columns from tables. This is the general form of an SQL select statement. Note that not all the clauses in this statement are mandatory. For example, in this presentation, we will work only with the first 3 lines of the statement. Select, and then we can list the columns that we want to select from, and we list the name of one or more tables from which we want to extract the data, and then we can add a condition to restrict rows accordingly. Conditions could be numerical or non-numerical. For example, if we want to get only the names and the phone numbers of the branch managers, we could use this select statement. Select branch manager, manager for number from branch. We are assuming that the table name is branch and the field names are branch manager and manager phone number. Here we are looking to get all the data related only to the Tokyo main office in the table local office, which we see here. The select statement that we can use to get this information is this. Notice that when we are looking to grab all the columns from a table, we can use the asterisk instead of listing all the columns. Notice also the use of the where clause that allows us to add a restricting condition. In this case, it is a non-numerical condition, actually a string, which is Tokyo.
So the basic to start SQL or select statement, you have like select word. When you use the application, like any one of you like has used the MySQL tool, or like any tool you will.
Yes, I did. Yes.
Yeah, it's very easy to use, by the way, and it's free. So I just advise you to test this kind of queries at home. Okay, so if you need to select all records from customer, we say select asterisk from customer. As you also watched in the video, if you want to select only this column, you will write instead of asterisk means everything. Select all columns from customer. Customer here is the name of the table. So the customer here is the table name, and you need to select, if you need to select all columns from customer without conditions, you just say select asterisk from customer. If you wanted to select like 2 or 3 or 4 columns, you will write their name instead of asterisk. So you will write, if you need first name, last name, customer address, and the customer city, it will be like this. Select customer first name, customer last name, customer address, customer city from. This is mandatory. You have to define like from what is your source. So this is your source, you write from, and then the source, like the table you are selecting from. As select statement is clear for all of you, or something not clear? Brandy, you can
Clear
talk.
for me.
Yeah, sorry.
It's clear for me, I understand.
Okay, great.
The SQL select statement. The SQL select statement is considered the most important and most frequently used statement in relational databases. Here, you can see the general form of the select statement. Notice that not all the clauses in this statement are always used, and that some other clauses can be added to it. In its general form, this statement allows us to select one or more columns from one or more tables, restrict the results according to one or more conditions. It also allows finding results according to particular groupings that might themselves be restricted according to some conditions. Finally, it will enable us to list the results according to a specific order. To understand the select statement, we will use this table example. It is a table called local offices. It has 4 columns: ID, branch main office location, countries with local representatives, name of representative, and it has 5 records. The most straightforward select statement restricts neither columns nor rows. This statement might be useful if we want to be sure that the table we are working on is correctly populated. In this slide and the following ones, the top table is the original table, and the lower one is the result returned by the select statement or query. When we add a where clause to the select statement, it allows us to restrict the returned records to the ones that match the where clause's condition. Here, for example, we limit the rows to those that have London as branch main office location. Here, we can see how we can select specific columns to be returned. And here, we can combine both restrictions, restricting the columns and the rows. The select statement allows us also to get results depending on a particular grouping. Here, we are counting the number of local offices managed by each branch. This query first creates groups of rows by the main branch and then counts the number of records in each group. It is also possible to restrict the results of the grouping using having, as shown here in this example. Finally, we can see here how we can use order by to order the result records. Ordering can be either ascending or descending.
the select, I mean, to understand the select, it's very clear for you now. Like you have different components in SQL statement. You need really to just manage your statement to get what you need. So we continue with like the examples we started. Like inside this customer table, if you just write select customer first name, customer last name, in that case, it will only show this customer first name, customer last name. Elimination, as we watched also in the video, it's it's uh, it's very important also to understand what you need to like what you need to filter, how to filter, because you can use like some like having. So having, it means this is a condition. It should fulfill this condition to show this data. Like as you watch it in the video, like it was having ID bigger than 2. So it means if the ID bigger than 2, it's fulfilling the condition. Then it shows the data that only that fulfilling the condition. Select customer country from customer. In this one, it will only show this column. So in this case, if you wanted to show all, if you wanted to show all the countries of customer in one query, you will write it like this: select country or customer country from customer. So it will show you the this column. Okay, what if, like if I wanted to show this column without redundant data, like without repeating the data, how can we do that? Anyone knows? Anyone has experience with that? Like how to show the data without repeated values? Like I don't need to see here UK twice and France twice. I just want to see UK once, France once. Anyone knows? Okay, it's easy. It will come anyway later in this course, in this lecture. But we will just add distinct word. Is distinct will make this results without redundant values. Okay, so yeah, as you see here, so select distinct customer country from customer. So in this case, it will do elimination for of duplication. So it will show the data without any duplications. So is it clear, students? I can't hear you. Like if anyone here.
Yes, it's clear.
Okay, thank you, Yasmin. Filtering results. Select asterisk from customer. Like just imagine if you wanted to select only the records with customers. You wanted to just to get the customers where, or only where the country UK, all the customers from UK. In this case, it's very important also in writing, when you write your SQL statement, try to use this concept, like to just separate the statement into like small parts, so you can know where is your condition, the source, and the select statement. So so now you select asterisk. It means select every record from customer where this is the filtration. Now you are doing the filtration here, where customer country equal UK. So it, in this case, it just got all the customers having the customer country UK. Okay, so another example, select asterisk from customer where customer country like UK, the result is the same. So look, the results here, the results here is the same, just the same. But here it was using something called like. This is this word, try to find in the string of country here something like UK, something like UK. So this is very important for you to have also like variety of writing your skill statement. And in some interviews, they also ask like, okay, if I wanted to present the data or get data using like, not not a condition, not or without like. So they can ask you in the interview, could you use like, could you use equal, like if you just write here equal, or could you just use like instead. So it, for you it's very clear what is the target. So the target now to just get all customers who living in UK. So in this case, it's clear for you what you want.
Restricting the returned records using the where clause. Understanding the use of the where clause is essential in building efficient queries in SQL. In this presentation, we will use the table local offices that includes each local office's annual revenue. Here, we are using the where clause to find the name and revenue of the France office. Notice first that France here is a non-numerical attribute or a string. We are using the equals operator to indicate that we want the condition to be equal to France. Notice also that the condition field does not need to be part of the selected columns at the beginning of the statement, and thus the result of the query. While the equals operator functions correctly in the select statement with strings or non-numerical conditions, it is often preferred to use the like operator as shown here. Notice that the result is the same as with the previous select statement. Notice also here that France is starting with a small f. Actually, SQL is not case sensitive. In other words, you can change the letter's case in the conditions and the result will be the same. Where can also be used with numerical fields. For example, here we are using the clause where annual revenue is greater than $200,000 to find the offices that meet that condition. Notice also that sometimes the select query will return an empty result when no record meets the where condition. For example, no local office has an annual revenue that exactly equals to $200,000, and thus the result of this query is an empty table.
So filtering result also was logical operators. We will start using in our SQL statement some logical operator. Logical operator means and, or, and so on. Like and, if it's in this case, and it means like it should satisfy the two conditions. So let's check here. Here it's he needs to select asterisk from customer, like select all records from customer, our table, where country like UK and account balance higher than zero, bigger than zero. So in if the like one of these conditions didn't satisfy, if one of these conditions didn't be satisfied or wasn't satisfied or didn't fulfill our statement, it will not bring anything. Like if you say like if account like select asterisk from customer where customer country like UK and account balance bigger than 2 million. In this case, you need to satisfy first condition and second condition. In that case, it will not bring anything because the balance higher than 2 million was not there. Then it will not show data. But in this case, it's you have two records, country UK, and the balance is higher than zero. So you got two records. So it's very important also when if you like if I'm telling you please select all customers where their name like this, you give like example like any Alex, for instance, like Alex, and like account balance or like salary higher than like 100K. In this case you should like you in this case your SQL statement fulfill two conditions because you use and. If you use or, if you use or, if you one of these two conditions fulfill this condition, then it will bring the results. So it's very important also to understand this logical operations and how to use them. Another one here. So select asterisk from customer where, so you have account balance higher than zero, but there is no customer country was Canada. That so in this case just bring empty result. So it's possible, as you also watched in the video, it's possible to get empty records. So you can get empty records if the condition from your SQL result didn't find the data or the result. Sorting. How to sort. So select. This is also important. Like I can ask you to order them like by alphabet, by specific column, by specific order, by ID. Like it depends on how you want to sort your data. In this one, we need to order to select all records and order them by customer city, this column. So it will just use B first, then L second, then P. So it's alphabetic sorting. So another one, select asterisk from customer, order by customer city. Descend. This is to order. So you can even order by descend or as. So from higher to lower or from lower to higher. So you just use like the word after order by, and the second one you can also order first by first column. This is the first priority for your ordering. So you're ordering by customer city, and the second one for ordering if two values or two records are the same, then you order by account balance. Okay, so in this case we take first select asset from customer by customer city, then account balance. You can also add more, like you can add like order by like more than two columns. You can add three, four as you want. This is very important if you want like to make order for the results. Grouping, to group your results. This is if like you have the data and you want to group your results by branch, by city, whatever. So in this case, like first example here, you want to get like the data from customer, select customer city and the sum account balance from customer, where customer country like UK, group by customer city. Anyone understand this SQL statement? There is only one trick here. Only one trick. It's exactly here.
There are two attributes, so you get in the results two columns.
Okay, and what about this? You look here. You are selecting sum of account balance. The question here: this sum for whom or for what? This sum for what?
So the sum is looking at, so you are grouping by customer city. So it's basically looking at the sum of, for example, Birmingham. So like all the customers in Birmingham, the sum of their account balance, and then it goes to the next city.
Exactly. So you mean you do sum for all the customer account balance who living in
In a particular
Birmingham.
city.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And the other one for London, it's doing the same. Like so, you do sum for all customer balance who living in London. So and we grouped them based on customer city, and for every city the balance or the total balance for those customers who living in that city is this amount. This is very important, guys. Do you know why? Like if you are working with analysis team and someone asking you, okay, could you just tell me which city is or just show me or all cities with like a total amount or total amount of selling, like if you sell that city higher or other city higher and so on. So it's very important for business analysis that they use this kind of queries. Then you present this data like in report format or something, so you can like show us like, okay, I will show you like the highest, then you can show us like the highest amount or balance in one city or another city and so on. You can also group by group by these cities, do some submission like we're doing here to to just say, okay, in this city we are selling in that amount, so it makes more sense to have like more stores there or not, to add like more marketing for the other cities where we are selling less. This kind of query is very important because from them you can enhance and improve your business. That's why it's very important to like really understand in details, like okay, what, how in detail, how can I get exact numbers, exact data, to make this data like information as we said in the beginning, and so on. uh Torlak is why what is something clear for you? Torlak, can you hear us? Ah, okay, so now it's clear for you. Okay, so select, look here, look, select customer city and some account balance from customer. Okay, where to understand better, Torlak, you really need to try. I mean, it's very important to try these things out. Like it's not about just like reading them or just watching them. It's very important to try to find some columns, database, to import database from internet or download any database from internet, and start to write on your own this SQL statement. It's still this SQL statements getting like higher and higher. Like now we are still in basics. You can write still more. You can write one statement like one page, because you are really targeting specific data. So it's very important to try these things out on your own. Try to set up the tool, and try these things at like when you and work with this with different data. Get like different imported any database. How it's calculating, I mean in this like Excel. If I'm not sure if you have experience with Excel or not. If you use Excel application, you can also with one word like sum, you can sum like whole column. If you use like average word, this is the same story. You use one word, it makes like the whole work for you. This is like function, it's called in Excel function. And here in SQL, it's the same story. So you use the word. No, it's SQL, it's SQL. That's why I'm telling you, you need to try this in your own. Just to try to download MySQL. I hope you have this, or you can also try this online. Just 1 second. There is many tools you can try them online, even without downloading anything. In chat, there is something. Please, all of you, try to work around this. Try to like run some queries to understand on your own how to use different components from SQL statement and so on. It will make much sense for you. Okay, so here select customer city and sum of account balance from customer, where customer country like UK. So now this is one condition, and you group by customer city, having sum of account balance higher than 0. If you remember, it's the same here, okay? But the only condition wasn't wasn't successful here. It's London is lower than 0. So here having some, it means it's satisfying that sum of account balance is bigger than 0. In this case, the only one or the only group who satisfies this Birmingham, which is having higher than 0. So in this statement, we select customer city and sum of sum of account balance from customer. Okay, so you can understand it like this. Okay, from customer, this is your source. Select the customer city and the sum of account balance after grouping customer city, after grouping by customer city, only the ones having sum higher than 0. Okay, I hope it's clear for you. So now you only get the data if, or the record, only if it's higher than 0. So from this, we only get Birmingham because it's higher than 0. Okay, so look here. Select customer city and sum of account balance from customer. Okay, so from customer we select this and the sum of account balance where customer country like UK, the country is UK, and group by customer city having customer city like London. So in this case, the only one satisfied, look, it's this one, but we only added this, having customer city like London. So now we are making more filtration. So the only one could achieve this condition, it's the second record here, this one, London.
Aggregate functions and grouping. Aggregate functions are used to do calculations on sets of values. In SQL, there are some built-in aggregate functions. These are AVG to calculate the average of a set of values, count to return the number of rows of values that one or more of their attributes meet one or more conditions, max to return the maximum value of an attribute, min to return the minimum value of an attribute, and sum to find the sum of values of an attribute. Using aggregate functions without grouping applies the function on the entire table. For example, if we use the aggregate function AVG on the values in the value column, it will calculate the average of the 7 values. When we add grouping clause, the DBMS will group the rows according to the grouping field. For example, we can group by attribute 1, and in this case, given that we are still calculating the average, the DBMS will calculate the average of values 1, 2, and 3 as group 1, values 4, 5, and 6 as group 2, and values 7 as group 3. We can also group by more than one attribute. For example, if we group by attribute 1 and attribute 2, we will get an average for group 1 and group A, and another average for group 1 and group B, and so on. We can even restrict the results of the grouping using halving. For example, we might want to get only the results for the groups that contain 2 rows. Here, we will add a halving condition to the query to return only group 1 and group A, as well as group 2 and group D. Using aggregate functions examples. In this video, we will look at some examples of the use of aggregate functions. We will use the order table as a sample data from a larger table that contains data about orders. The table contains order numbers, representative IDs, order amounts in dollars or euros, or any other currency, client IDs, local office IDs, and main branch IDs. The first aggregate function we will use is AVG, which calculates the average of several values. Here, we are using a select statement or query to calculate the average of the order amounts. Notice here that the result of a query is always a table, even when the query is returning only one value. Here, we are counting the number of representatives in the table. Notice that because one representative ID for order 04 is null, which means it is an empty or missing value, it is not counted, and the result of our query is 9. If we want to count the number of all records, including those containing nulls, we need to use count between brackets asterisk, as shown in this example. We can see here that the return number is 10. Max is used to find the maximum value among numeric or non-numeric values. Here, we are finding the maximum value of the order amounts. And with min, we can find the minimum value. And we can calculate the sum of certain values using the aggregate function sum, as shown here. Notice that we can include more than one aggregate function in one query. Here, we can find the average, the count, the maximum, and minimum values, as well as the sum of the order amounts in one query. Using grouping examples, aggregate functions are used to carry out arithmetic operations on data in the database. Average, count, sum, minimum, and maximum are some of the most frequently used ones. We often use aggregate functions with grouping. We will use this order table to work on examples about aggregate functions. This table contains sample data from a much bigger table. It includes order numbers that start by O's, representative IDs start by R's, order amounts which are of currency data type, client IDs that start by C's, local offices that start by LO's, and main branches that start by MBs. There are 2 main branches, 4 local offices, 7 clients, but notice that not all of them are in this data sample, 5 representatives and 10 orders. Let us start with the aggregate function that calculates the average order amount in a table. Here, we simply use average order amount after the select. We can calculate aggregate values for groups of records. In this example, we want for your studies and also for your professional work. Data has to find the average order amount per representative. This is what we are adding to the previous query. Group by representative ID. To execute this query, the DBMS will create groups of records grouped by the representative and then calculate the average for each group. For example, one group will be all the records for which the representative is R1, and the DBMS will calculate the average for these records. Then it will do the same thing for R2, R3, and so on. We can also add conditions to the group aggregate functions. Here, we are using having to restrict the results to aggregate average value greater than $400,000. While the where clause is used to restrict rows in queries, having restrict rows after the grouping. Here, we are using several aggregate functions in the same query: min, max, and count of orders per local office. Finally, notice here how we use multi-grouping to first group by representative and then by client. Here, you can see that the last row in the query result includes the average of the two rows in the original table that contain data about R5 and C3. Notice that R5 and C1 form a separate group.
Now we got like some examples. We watched some examples also in videos. I hope the idea of queries getting better now. And as I said, you need also to test it on your own. So now we are getting to another topic called subqueries. Subqueries here means you select from select. Okay, so you have select, like so you have query and you have subquery. So the like here, like here, as you see here. So you select customer first name, last name, city, country, account balance from customer, where the condition here is based on another select, the result from another select. We call this sub select. So you want to just select these columns from customer where account balance is higher than the result from select average of account balance from customer. So in this case, the result from average account balance is number. This number, this average should be here, as a result of this select. Okay, so you need to understand when you see this select from where, like this is a normal select, but the sub select here, the value coming, only one value coming out this select, and our condition will be satisfied based on this value. So in this case, we write it like this: select where account balance higher than the result from the second select. Okay, I hope it's clear for you. Is it clear, or is there any problem with this subquery? Torlak, you can bring this here because as I told you in lectures, I am like, this is interactive learning course. Like all courses you have at IU, it's interactive courses. You need to like learn and to do your best to search in internet to find the solution. It's not like normal university, you go and someone give you with a spoon like what you eat. It's not like this. So if you have a question, please bring it from the book and put it here in presentation, and we will try to discuss it together. And also it's a discussion. We will discuss it together and try to understand it together. It is not about like professor just give you all the information in like into your head. Yeah, just please bring like what you want, and we can try to help you together here. All the team or all the students, me as well, will try to figure it out with you. But now I am not opening the book now to just check it now. So if you can make photo of this figure, you can add it here, and we can look at the end of the lecture. So the review study, we are coming now to the end of this presentation. Okay, we will go through this after I finish this for like 1 minute. Use the SQL select statement to query data in RDBMS, Relational Database Management System. So it's very important to understand this. Please try alone. Try alone these queries in your own. Filter queries, very important also, using where. Group query results using group by, and having clauses, explain and use subqueries. This is the what we need. Okay, for you, uh, you this is a task. It's your option. If you wanted to work on it right now and choose the result, just write in chat who want to just finish it today, and who want to do it as a homework and present it next time as we did today. So you have two options now. First option to like to think about it and work about it about this task and finish it now, or you can just work on it and present it in the beginning of the next lecture. What do you think? This is your task. You need to create these queries that return this first one, second one. So we have sub 7 queries. You need to write them. Okay. Okay. It's 12 queries, 12 queries. So you need to present them. Okay. Okay. So I will stop here at these questions. We will solve them together. Can you see my screen still? Okay. So please think about this until I just answer the question from Tarlak. Okay. So you have example here, like figure 9 from the book, example of subqueries. So I need to select distinct name area from country, where area is okay. So what is the problem here for you, Tarlak? I don't understand. Where is the problem? Like in this Uh, just a second. I will bring this here. Can you see now my screen? No. What do you see in like for what from what I present? What do you see? Do you see still the presentation, or you don't see anything?
We can't. No, don't see your screen.
Okay. Okay. Just a second.
Anything?
Now, do you see the screen now or no? Not yet.
No.
So okay, I will share again. Hopefully you can see it. Okay, 1 second. Okay, now do you see something?
Oh yes. Great.
Okay.
Yeah.
So okay. So Torlak, can you tell us like what you need from this? Guys, do you see like the figure 9 from Torlak?
No, we see your PowerPoint presentation.
No, I mean in chat. There is one.
Yeah.
In chat, yes.
Okay, so in chat, if you open the image, number figure 9, example of subqueries. Okay, so in this subquery, it's saying here select distinct name. Distinct name, what does it mean? Like the column without duplication. There is no duplication, without duplication. Okay. Area, just second. Area from country. Our column here called country, where area is bigger than select average area from country. Like where where the area is the area of the the area of the selected entries should higher than the average of the area. Order by name. Or what is the problem now? What is the problem for you to look? Please write in chat, because other students, do you have any problem with this subquery? Like in this second select, it just selects the average of area from country. Okay, so we have column called country. There are there is one we have one table called the country, and from this country we select the average of area. We have column called area, and we select the average of this area. And the values from the main select, like which is select distinct name and area from country, where area is higher than the average. So this means you only select the name and the area from the table called country if the area higher than the average. Like if we say the average of area is like 5 million, so it will only show or bring in the result all all the names of from country table where the area higher than the average value. Torlak, I asked if you can explain two figures. You mean figure 10 as well? Not clear for you? Okay, but now let's finish first figure 9, and then we go to figure 10. Torlak, please try to fix this. Mic, because it's harder to understand if you get it or not. So figure 9, is it clear or not? Figure 9, you only get the data, the records, if the area higher than the average. Okay, this is the first one. Is it clear for all of you? Others?
Yes.
Okay. So the second one. Let's go through the second one. Second one, it's saying select. This is the main query. The first one, as I mentioned, this is the main query. The second part is called subquery. This is just describing what we said in the lecture. The first one, or the first part, is called main query. And in the main query, you select like columns. You write the column name you want to select. Main query table, this is the from table, as we mentioned also in the lecture. After from, this is the table name. After from word, this is the table name. Filter condition, this is what's coming after where, and then you need to wait for the result from subquery, which is starting with select, then the second select. This is our subquery. So our where, there is here some comparison operator. It means like bigger than, less than. So this is called comparison operator. So in the first main query, you select some columns which satisfying one condition. This condition is based on the second query or the subquery. I hope I make myself clear. Is it clear now, or Tarlak, please just write something. Is it clear now? Okay, so it's clear for you now. It's better. And the others, is it also clear for you? This concept, like how to write it, like
Yes.
so you write first the first select statement, and this is called the main query, and then there is sub. The sub is the one which is like getting like value, as you saw in figure 9. We got the average value in the sub query, and based on this subquery there was like there was like comparison operator, and based on this comparison operator we received the data. Okay, so please go to presentation again, and let's solve this together. Which SQL keyword is used in query to return only unique values? Which word here? Which word we used to remove duplications? Distinct. Yeah, exactly. The second one. Which SQL keyword is used to for sorting a query as result? Which one? Sort by, ascending, order by, organized by. Order by. Yeah, exactly. Here, which SQL keyword is used in a query to return only unique values? Which one? Only unique values. B, distinct. Distinct is the right one, because we use it just to remove redundant values. Okay, so we are done for the presentation for today. Please finish the task, and it's a bit long. It would take from you at least 1 hour or more, because it's like many queries. But if I were you, I would just try to write them in like one application online, or like the link I sent you. You can just try out these results. It would be better if you try this in practice. It's better. Okay. So if you have any question or something, let's discuss this and also in next time. But please all of you try to finish to finish the tasks, the task that you have all queries, and let's present them next time in the beginning. Okay, so if you don't have any questions or anything, I wish you great evening, and see you next time, next lecture. Bye bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.